Ready? Hey, I'm Matt O'Hara. I'm the STL at store 114, Columbiana Center. Been with American Eagle about 7 years, and we're side by side approach. So throw that in there.
So when it comes to your planning day, what's the first thing that you do?
First thing I want to do is I want to look back at last week. Um, I look to see what opportunities we had. I look to see what wins we had. And obviously, a lot of that is tied to the weekly focus with the questions we have to answer. But I'm looking at all the numbers to see where we won and where our opportunity was.
Gotcha.
I started out doing the weekly focus, so I've already pulled my numbers for last week. That way I could really kind of see where our opportunities were. And then as I'm doing that, I'm filling out the weekly focus.
Is there one thing you start with?
I kind of go down the list because it makes you start from last week to look ahead to next week. And I think it's really important to look at what you did before you go ahead because, what opportunities did I miss when I'm making a schedule? What was I not aware of? So for me, like I go in order. Don't give me that because I couldn't spell.
Why is the SPW important to you?
To me, it's very important. I run a side-by-side store. Um, Filling out that SPW correctly, putting proper area numbers in, allowing those hours to be correct, allows me to make my schedule properly and for me to allow my associate manager, my area manager, to make her schedule properly.
So what are you doing right now?
I am plugging in the hourly metrics, basically traffic per hour last year. The reason being, obviously, I want to make a proper schedule for the right people at the right place at the right time.
How do you utilize the monthly calendar to kind of set your store up?
I have that monthly calendar basically up when I'm doing the SPW, especially looking at stuff. We also have a calendar on our ISP where we really write down the important stuff. That way, it's always kind of in your mindset of what's coming up.
All right, so what are we working on now?
Working on the schedule, using my schedule planning worksheet so I know I schedule the right amount of hours each day. And for me, I start on the weekend, so I start Saturday, Sunday, and then kind of work my way back. And that's basically what I'm doing right now. Hey, come on, man, not everything.
How do you prep for the district call?
Um, for me, I follow our guideline for everything. So I have already done my schedule for the next week. I've already looked at numbers, done my weekly focus, because the call is important to like share our learnings for the week before. Maybe if I struggled with an opportunity, maybe other stores did, or maybe I had success in something and now I'm aware of it because I look back at myself so I can answer a question for, a fellow store manager and maybe be able to help them out.
We're asking them to know a little bit more than we have been. All of a sudden at like 1 o'clock, I'll see everybody's reads start coming through on my phone. 7 things that we do, and I'm going to put it on Zipline today. I know it sounds really silly, but it is kind of fun. Really get like those guests in early to shop because you know that once we do events like this, once it's gone, it's gone. Denim comp cost us our year, and I'm not having it.
So we really concentrated on when we use the SPW is like hitting our top 10 segments.
So after you've got all the weekly focus done, the payroll tools, schedules, lunch, district call, you've got a little bit of time that might not be accounted for. How do you use that time?
For me, I know on our planning day guidelines, depending on the week, depending on who's working, I make sure I have my touch bases. I'm checking in with all my managers, making sure all that's good. I also give time for myself for personal development if I need to watch videos or whatever. But I think the most important thing is having the consistent touch bases with your managers. It's even my opportunity to train them on certain things maybe they don't know. And I think it's just big for development.
Gotcha. What value do you see in doing touch bases so regularly?
Oh, I mean, I think touch bases are one of the most important things that you can do in a store. I feel like constantly connecting with your managers, understanding where they're at, keeping everyone on the same page is vital to a healthy store. Also, too, how do I know what I need to train people on, how to develop people if I don't know where they're at or where their head's at? So for me, touch bases are everything.
Why do you think the regional calls are so important?
I mean, I think they're great because regardless of tier one, tier two, tier three, I think it gives you a platform to have a voice. I think it's great to have a diverse set of STL stores, hot stores, non-hot, all that, to just kind of get ideas from, to learn from, to kind of better ourselves at. I think it's really important, and I wish honestly more people would voice their opinions more on the regional calls because I feel like there's a lot that we can still learn from people that it just isn't happening. But for me personally, I mean, it's been a platform to grow myself as a manager and, hopefully see where that takes me.
So, how do you determine if you've had a successful planning day or not?
For me, I know I've had a successful planning day. When I go to clock out and I go to leave, and I know the rest of the week I don't have anything to do but sell.
Okay, so as you're getting towards the end of the day and you're kind of wrapping up, what does that typically look like?
For me, when I get towards the end of the day, I have my schedule guidelines for planning day, and I'm basically going back through and checking off, making sure I did everything.
So, do you think you had a successful planning day?
Despite the film crew following me around, I think it was a pretty good day. I'll see you guys later. Hey, I'm Matt O'Hara. Don't know what I was about to say next.